LeBron, you've spoken to us about retirement more than at any other point in your career as this season played out. What do you feel like's left for you in the NBA?
Well, I think you guys asked me about it, and I've answered questions. Yeah, I don't think I've come out as like, oh, retirement is coming. With my future, I don't know, obviously. Obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and
The Lakers just got swept, 4 straight losses. The Thunder didn't even need a Game 5. LeBron James stepped to the podium after Game 4 and, listen to this, decided it was the perfect time to pull out the retirement card. The same retirement talk he's been dangling for years. Anything to shift pressure off another playoff exit. And make no mistake, he knows exactly what he's doing. Quick question for the comments section. How many times can one player threaten retirement after a playoff loss before everyone realizes it's just a media tactic? And seriously, does anyone actually believe LeBron is walking away from $50 million guaranteed next year? The Los Angeles Lakers were officially eliminated from the playoffs Monday night, 115 to 110. Game 4 in Los Angeles. The Western Conference Finals now move on without the Lakers. The headlines don't include the Lakers. The brand is without the Lakers. And the 4-time MVP did exactly what he always does after a playoff exit. He went straight to the microphone and somehow made the entire conversation about himself.
Yeah, I don't think I've come out as like, oh, retirement is coming. With my future, I don't know, obviously. Obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously, as it stands right now tonight. I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think to Minnesota, there, go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, obviously, you guys know.
The scene at the podium felt perfectly staged. The reporter hit him with the obvious question: what comes next? Retirement? The future? Roster decisions? LeBron responded with the kind of answer that feels pre-written into this whole saga. Nobody really knows what the future holds. He says he needs time to recalibrate. He says he needs time with his family. He says he needs time to reflect before making any decisions about his career. The exact quote was, "None of us here know what the future holds. Neither am I. I will take time to recalibrate, look over the season, and see what's best for my future. And when I get to that point, everyone will know." There is nothing really in that. It is basically a verbal placeholder. Hold up, he just strings together empty phrases that sound deep but carry no real meaning. Recalibrate, look over the season, decide what's best for the future, and everyone will know. He could repeat that same line after every playoff exit over the last decade, and nobody would notice a difference. This is a script. This is theater. This is the same routine we see at the end of every season that doesn't end in a championship.
LeBron, in year 23, how different did this feel walking off the court, not knowing what the future holds for you versus past years when we knew you were coming back to play?
I don't know. I guess when you get like over 40, you start forgetting shit that happened. So I don't even remember many of the last time.
The retirement card has turned into LeBron's default media move. Whenever the team drops a game they were expected to win, the retirement conversation immediately gets brought up. Sometimes it's pushed by friendly reporters who already know it's the easiest headline of the night. Sometimes it comes through LeBron himself, funneled through his media circle. Either way, listen to this, the response always follows the same pattern. Vague, open-ended, emotional, carefully designed to pull attention away from the actual basketball collapse that just happened and redirect it toward a sympathetic story about an aging superstar thinking about the end of his career. At this point, the cycle is so predictable that the entire basketball world should be numb to it. And yet, every single year, the same media outlets recycle the same headlines. Will LeBron retire? Is this really the end? Has the King played his last game? The clicks start flooding in, the discourse takes off, the real story of the playoff loss gets completely buried under career speculation. Mission accomplished. He has spent years turning postseason disappointments into personal narrative moments.
Listen, like I said, I left everything I could out on the floor. I control what I can control, and I can leave the floor saying like, even though I hate losing, obviously, but I was locked in on what we needed to do. I tried to make sure our guys were locked in on what we needed to do throughout the postseason, throughout 10 games. And obviously we fell a little short, obviously, but I'm not looking at, my year as a disappointment. That's for damn sure. Especially, I was put into some positions that I've never played in my career before. Actually, in my life. I've never been a third option in my life. So to be able to, thrive in that role for that period of time, and then have to step back into the role that I've been accustomed with over my career, over my life, playing a sport, and be able to thrive under that, and then just my teammates allowing me to lead them under extreme circumstances.
Let's talk about the actual basketball that got the Los Angeles Lakers swept, because that's the conversation nobody at the podium wanted to touch. The Oklahoma City Thunder took this series 4-0 in a completely dominant fashion. Game 1 set the tone. Game 2 was the 18-point blowout where LeBron James spent half the night arguing with officials and going back and forth with a courtside fan. Game 3 was the loss where he managed just 4 points in the fourth quarter while shooting 36.8% from the field. Game 4 was the elimination game where the Lakers actually made it competitive with a 39-point third quarter and a late push, but still fell short. LeBron's stat line in Game 4 looked solid on paper, 24 points and 12 rebounds. That was his first 12-rebound playoff game in a long time, the kind of box score that broadcast partners love to flash to prove he is still doing it. But the reality is that those rebounds came in a losing effort, and most of the scoring came when the game was already slipping away. The Lakers needed dominance from him to stretch the series. Instead, they got a stat line that looks nice on a graphic, but changed nothing about the outcome. The Luka Doncic factor is going to be the easy excuse all offseason. The Lakers' new franchise piece missed the entire postseason after an April injury. Without Luka, the offense lost its primary engine. Without Luka, the spacing collapsed. Without Luka, defenses loaded more attention onto LeBron. That excuse is real, but it is not the full story. The Lakers had multiple chances to build a functioning offense without Luka and never truly solved it. The coaching staff didn't have answers, the role players didn't have enough firepower to fill the gap, and the 41-year-old superstar didn't have the legs to carry everything alone, which is exactly what the league has been warning about for 2 seasons now. The other excuse coming out of the Lakers locker room is the role adjustment. LeBron openly said in his post-game press conference that he was placed in situations he had never experienced before, including being a third option for the first time in his career. The exact quote was, "I was in some situations I have never played in my career before, actually in my life. I have never been a third option in my life. My teammates allowed me to lead them under extreme conditions. That was pretty cool for me." That statement is the cleanest possible way of saying, I wasn't the alpha this year and I'm at peace with that. And that's a wild thing for a 4-time MVP to admit right after a sweep. Either he was the third option and fully accepts it, which means his contract situation should reflect that level, not max superstar value, or he was the third option and isn't happy about it but can't say it out loud without creating noise in the locker room. Either way, that comment opens a real debate about where he fits on this roster moving forward. The Lakers' structure next season already looks like a complicated puzzle. Luka Doncic is the present and the future of this team. Luka needs the ball. Luka needs the primary usage role. Luka needs the entire offense built around his strengths. That has to be the foundation of any serious contending version of the Lakers going forward. Around Luka, the front office has to build a supporting cast that complements his game instead of competing with it. Shooters, defenders, cutters, and role players who can space the floor and finish at the rim when Luka draws extra defenders. The kind of pieces that actually unlock a true number 1 option. LeBron James, at 41 years old on a max contract is not the cleanest complementary fit for that setup. He still needs touches. He still needs the ball in his hands during meaningful possessions. He still needs stretches where the offense runs directly through him. He does not space the floor like a pure knockdown shooter anymore. He is not defending at the level you expect from a modern off-ball wing anymore. And he is not crashing the glass the same way either, with that 0.4 offensive rebounds per game in this postseason basically telling the story.
The fit between a Luka Doncic-led offense and a 42-year-old LeBron next season is not exactly seamless. The fit between that same Luka-led offense and a $50 million 42-year-old LeBron is even more uncomfortable. That is the calculation the Los Angeles Lakers front office has to sit with this summer. Are they willing to keep max money tied up in a player whose style doesn't naturally align with their younger star? Are they willing to reshape the entire roster around LeBron's usage instead of fully optimizing Luka's prime? Are they willing to use cap space on a 42-year-old when that same money could bring in multiple role players who actually fit the long-term direction? These are real basketball questions. The retirement card LeBron just flashed at the podium is also a way of applying pressure on how those questions get answered. If he signals even slight uncertainty about retirement, the Los Angeles Lakers feel forced to respond with a stronger offer. The franchise has built so much branding around LeBron in Los Angeles that letting him walk becomes a PR disaster. They either bring him back at a premium or risk watching him finish elsewhere while still dominating headlines. That retirement framing creates urgency to overpay rather than lose him to another contender. That is part of the leverage play, even if retirement was never truly on the table in the first place. There is also the matter of his son. Bronny James is already on the roster. The last couple of seasons for LeBron in Los Angeles have been tied heavily to the chance to share an NBA floor with his son. That is a personal milestone no other player in league history has achieved. That narrative alone is one of the most unique angles of his late career run. Walking away from that story without extending it another year feels unlikely. Those retirement comments at the podium start to feel more like performance than reality. The actual expectation is that he returns next season in a Lakers uniform alongside his son for as long as possible. The financial side also makes retirement extremely unlikely. His current contract is expiring. He becomes an unrestricted free agent this summer. The market for a 41-year-old is not what it is for a younger superstar, but there will still be serious offers. The Los Angeles Lakers will likely be at the front of that line. Whatever number gets put on the table is hard to walk away from voluntarily. History just doesn't show players at this level leaving that kind of guaranteed money behind, and LeBron is almost certainly not going to be the first to break that pattern. Then there is the legacy chase. The all-time scoring record is already his. The career playoff games record has been his since Game 6 of the 2020 Finals. The postseason scoring record belongs to him as well, and the longevity records across the board have been firmly his for years. But there are still milestones sitting on the table that he can collect if he plays just 1 or 2 more seasons. The first player to ever hit 45,000 career regular season points. The first player in history to reach 24 seasons played. The first player to hit certain combined statistical benchmarks across scoring, assists, and longevity. The legacy stat engine is still fully running, and the reality is he's not shutting it off voluntarily until every possible record is checked off the list. The Los Angeles Lakers fan base is heading into a very complicated emotional summer because of all of this. Some fans want him back. Some fans are already ready to move on. Some fans want the Lakers to fully commit to Luka Doncic and reinvest that LeBron money into a deeper supporting cast.
Some fans are uncomfortable with the idea of the franchise's most iconic star walking away in free agency without a real final push to keep him. The fan base is split, and that retirement card LeBron just dropped is designed to keep that split messy enough that the front office feels forced into urgency. The basketball media is part of the cycle too. Every post-game outlet ran with the retirement headline instantly. Every podcast spent the next morning breaking down his future as it changed overnight. Every former player and TV analyst had to jump in with their own take. The amount of free content generated by those comments for the entire sports media ecosystem is massive. LeBron James understands that better than anyone. He has been operating in this space for years. The vague non-answer is more valuable than a clean yes or no ever would be. A direct answer kills the storyline immediately. The uncertainty keeps the conversation alive for weeks. Now compare what he said at the podium to how other all-time greats handled similar moments. Kobe Bryant announced his retirement a full season in advance and turned it into a clean farewell tour. Tim Duncan stepped away with a few simple sentences and no drama. Dirk Nowitzki followed the same quiet exit approach. Those were players who understood the announcement should never overshadow the game. The team should stay on the story. The basketball should stay the story. LeBron has taken the complete opposite route. He has turned the will he or won't he question into a multi-year storyline he can pull out whenever things go wrong. The 41-year-old version of LeBron does not have unlimited basketball left in him. That much is just reality. The body has clearly started to slow down. The complaints to officials have become more frequent. The offensive rebounding has dropped to historic lows. The fourth quarter scoring impact has declined. The defensive effort is more selective than ever. All of that is visible. Eventually, the real retirement moment is going to arrive. The only question is whether it happens this year, next year, or 2 years from now. The smart money around the league says next year at the earliest. 2 seasons from now feels even more realistic. This year is basically a 0% chance. That's the breakdown. Hit the like button if the retirement card is starting to feel a little too repetitive for you too. Subscribe so the next breakdown shows up right in your feed. Drop your take in the comments and let the LeBron defenders see it for themselves. The Los Angeles Lakers just got swept. The deflection is on full display again. The receipts are already in the box score. And I'll see you on the next one.